Good morning. It's been a shaky morning so far. Actually, I traded into the overnight session last night, and things got weird, but that's okay. Down a little bit on the day. I think like $500. Got chopped up a little bit this morning. Nothing crazy. Been actually managing risk pretty well. So we can dive into the charts, see exactly what's going on here. I think I fixed my mouse issues and my CPU usage, all that stuff behind the scenes that I was having problems with yesterday. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay, if things are going good. Thank you. Yeah, now the Tesla video, actually, if we, I kind of have that up so I can look and see exactly what's happening with Tesla right now as we head into the open. So it's looking pretty good. So right down here, I have my strike on that option, and yeah, things are good. If we jump over to the trade of 8, we can see that we are just dumping through the open. Here's where I got chopped up a little bit. Took a couple break-even stops, 1, 2, and then 2 bad stops here, down 100, down 70. Like I said, this is more from last night and yesterday. Got chopped up a little bit right down in here last night about 6:30. That's just me not being disciplined, really, and I really shouldn't be trading the night sessions, give or take, but things are going okay. So kind of just going to let this first 5-minute candle figure out what's going on here. Watching the level 2 on the Bookmap pretty closely. We can see that big block down at 24,750. So we'll see what happens if that acts as a little bit of a rejection point or not. Not really sure what the markets really want to do today. This is on the 5-minute, but if we come back and look, that's Tesla. That's not the NQ. It's pulling back already. We're kind of been chopping all night in this like 70-point range right here. Same as yesterday, kind of straight across, which is kind of been the theme over the last little bit here. As we talked a little bit yesterday, since really the 12th, like just barcoding back and forth. You could see now we're going to be breaking into this level here. Let's see what happens. I would be interested, to be honest, this is a really, really big no trade zone for me. I can get rid of this. This is irrelevant now. If I see maybe a little flush through and then come back and touch this, but still, like, even this is 67 down to 79. That's a really, really tight range. Kind of going to see when we get to this like 675 range, we can kind of get an idea of what might be down there. Let's check the Bookmap and see if there's anything around 675. I'll show you what I was just looking at here. So I was looking at this flush through here, and then we'll come down and hit like the 680, kind of see what happens when we get to 680. Kind of like a break and retest through there. There's huge blocks at 700 on the books. So we need to get through that huge block of 700 on the books, and then we'll see what happens down below. Not a ton on the Bookmap down below just yet. So we'll kind of going to watch. Said that's a lot of volatility early in the markets, early in the day. So let the Discord know we are live. What's the SPY doing today? Can we sell puts? Right off that 100. See what happens there. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, look at that block down 700. Wowie. This trade of 8 chart does have a little bit of a delay. I don't pay for data on there because I have the Bookmap data. So when we're going back and forth between this here, I really just kind of use this for levels, like key levels. When I do top down from the weekly down to the 1 hour, this is kind of just giving me a little bit of an idea of where to look. And then I take this information and then I bring it over to the Bookmap. And that's really where I get my final executions from. If that makes sense. Yeah, so lots of sellers there absorbing all those buy orders. That's what that red little dot means. And usually when we see a bunch of, let me use my cursor here. When we see a lot of orders still sitting here passively and we get this big red bubble, that means that buyers are staying, and then you could see it kind of push up. So if we had this big red bubble and absorb all of these buy orders, and there was nothing really down below to support, like kind of what's happening, now kind of falls into that zone. That's how I use the Bookmap to make my trades. But it's a double-edged sword because sometimes, right, we get magneted towards big orders. So we'll see sometimes once I have this little void, that gives the opportunity for sellers to come in and say, okay, well, let's go push down and get some more of those liquid buy orders. So you can't use it as, just like anything in trading, you can't use it as the only metric that you're looking at. Yeah, pushing up there. So I have a feeling we're going to come up here and we're going to mess around and see what's happening. Yep, there it goes. Now we'll see if we have a little bit of a rejection point or not here. See those big orders coming in. They're like, okay, we got some sellers, but then there's a big buyer coming through. They're really fighting back and forth. And the buyers came through nice and strong, got rid of that entire level of liquidity. And now we'll see if it comes back down and we get some more buyers to step back in. So once we break through that level, now we're looking for buyers to step back in. Which they are doing. So we break that liquidity, and then all of this under, these buyers are just in control with nothing above. Right? So no real sellers to stop this flow with the buyers. If they want to keep taking control, they're going to continue to push this thing upward. I'm not opposed to trying to get a quick scalp here, but I really do like to wait for the first 5-minute candle to open. But I guess I can get a cheap trade here with a stop right there. Come down, maybe test this again. Let's try that. Let's make a trade on stream for you. So I'm using the Bookmap just to get my stop. Oh, gonna see if it's gonna come up and stop me out again. Yep. All right, another stop there. Yeah, not seeing the markets really clear today at all. Kind of rush in a little bit. But like I said, I like the entry. I like the test here. Seeing what we're going to do. I might have just been a little early on it. You know, we can see that we had a bunch of support. So now I was just seeing if we were flushing through, and we were going to use that support as resistance. Maybe could have had a little bit tighter stop, right? Maybe not a 40-point stop there. That was a little bit reckless on my part, I think. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, looking at this, I was probably just a little bit early. See, now I can kind of watch and see with the Bookmap if I'm going to get a rejection here, and then maybe that will be the play that I missed, but we'll see. I'm going to keep watching it. Let's see what happens here. I'm not opposed if it comes back up into the zone again to touch it. I'm not opposed to taking one more trade. We'll see what happens. Huge block at 880. Kind of that'll be like kind of line in the sand. See if we can get. It's gonna get pulled up. It's gonna get pulled up to 880 eventually here, and then we're gonna see what happens if we get rejected at 880. Yeah, we can see why 880 is a big spot. You have all this up here. That's in the overnight session. Buyers just crashed through that. Let's see. Yeah, pushing new highs. Will we push new highs here from the overnight? Let's see. Overnight highs up there at 900, right in that psychological level. Man, I was wrong about that short. That's why we take stop losses. 40-point stop was a little bit. I didn't have my charts there right, but what you gonna do? That short was also against the trend. It's one thing about streaming. You just want to get a trade in and give the people what they want to see. Finding support there at 95. Get through 95. We'll see if we can go down and touch that 77. Sellers trying to eat those buy orders. Who will win? Buyers. Seller's going to react. Buyer's going right through. Wow. Buyer's strong right now. Oh, man, I love watching this. Comes right back down. Let's see what happens here if the sellers can win. If the sellers win, I think we see more orders pop up around 97. Nope, rejected it again. Some 44s coming through, slow things down a little bit. Keep those buyers in check. Wow, nice pushes. Next, kind of see if we can get up into here. You know, up to this 34 maybe. And then either that or are we going to get maybe a little bit of rejection back down into 80. We'll see what happens. Zooming out a little bit. Kind of no trade zone in through here. Once we come down, and then if we come down and we can test this right here, this 880, that might be something that I'm interested in. But that's way back down here. Man, look at that line in the sand for 2,500, 25,000. I mean, saying, come and get me. Please don't yell. Let's see what happens again. I mean, with that big 25,000 block up there, I have a feeling just from watching this over time, we're going to get up there eventually. Well, I mean, I guess we're going to see that again. It just depends on how much work the buyers want to do to get up there. But I would not be shocked if we got up into 25,000 today. Point of control just flipped up there. Show you point of control for anybody that doesn't really know. What I'm looking at here is all the volume per price. And then there's a yellow line that just represents where the most volume has been conducted. Just a little bit of key levels on the session. Can use it sometimes, but kind of lets everybody know that we're going to, usually we revert back to the mean, right? And just statistics. So if VWAP is the mean, the volume weighted average price on the session, and we have the most volume being conducted above that, statistically, we would say that we should come back down and revert to that mean. So we can use it there, or we can use it to test and see if we're going to continue to break out. That's the two ways I kind of look at the point of control. But still just hanging out in a no trade zone for me right now, especially being down almost $1,000 on the day across all the accounts. Really, the next thing that really interests me is down around 874. But we can even see on the Bookmap that not really a bunch of buyers even hanging out down there. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get down there. being up by 10 points and then coming back break even. I mean, that's essentially what's happened here, here. I don't know if I'm moving my stops too early or, hey, good morning. How are you? I don't know if I'm moving the stops early. Like I said, I still like it. These are things I'm learning. I have 3 break-even stops that were up 10 points on me. So there's 30 points now that I gave back. But my stops are, this open stop was terrible. But, yeah, they start to sting. And the break-even stops will definitely make you a little bit tilted. But trying not to be. I still like the longs here off of this level. But just not a ton of buying support, and on the Bookmap, just a lot more passive orders, once again pushing up ahead up here in that 88 zone. So we'll see what happens. I might continue to watch this down in VWAP and maybe take a VWAP stab. We'll see. Just need a second to get over that last trade and see. About a half hour into the session now, so that balance of when to take some profit off and when not. But here was like the test of this. So now I guess I'm going to be watching to see how we respond. Let me switch over to that level for you. So yeah, so I was playing the break and then the retest of this for that long. Might just stop myself out a little bit too early. We'll say, like I said, I still like this as a rejection, becoming support, and then coming up and trying to play into this zone here up into 25.34. Dumps. Pull way back, which so you see that and you're like, okay, this is why we use stop losses, because if I would have tried to be a little bit greedy now, I would definitely would have taken that stop. And sometimes when you get break-even stopped, you see the market's always going to move after. Sometimes you get a break-even stop and it rips in your way, and sometimes you get a break-even stop and it continues against you. So you just got to know that there's another trade. But now we're just like back into this range again. It's like back into no man's land here. Definitely no trade in this whole area for me right now. As I mentioned before, this chart is delayed about 5 seconds because I have the real level 2 on the Bookmap. Snow Day Part 2. I just realized I was muted all the time. My bad. Yeah, just chopping in a range. That's how I got chopped up. I'm not opposed to one more trade, but I'm definitely not losing more than $1,000 on the day. That's definitely going to be a hard stop for me. What to do? You can even see there's really nothing happening. Let me come back to the chart. Even the volume has been pretty much scattered amongst the board pretty evenly. Nothing crazy. Point of control now just flipped down. We talked about that a little while ago. Nice candle. See if we can't get some continuation here. I'll probably be done for the morning. So we're just chopping. We've been chopping now for the whole night, literally. And I was a part of that chop. Definitely don't want to give any more away. If we can push through these highs and see if we can get some continuation higher, then maybe we'll have some space for a trade. But I'm willing to let this breathe for another 5-10 minutes. But one or two candles, I got to see some motion. If not, if we're just chopping around here, that's gonna be no bueno for me. How's my Tesla trade looking? Not bad. Out of the money. Definitely going to be watching that as well. Yep, just deeper into that range. Another 2 minutes on this candle. being held up nice. $35 seconds on this candle. We'll see what happens. I kind of want to see a big close like above 80 to feel like we're going to continue to go up right now. Huge block up at 900. That block at 900 has been popping up all morning. See, there's buyers under it. It's trying to push through. See what happens here. Yep. Oh my gosh, buyers just absorbed that pretty nicely. See if they continue to push it into the close of this candle. Good, close right at 900. Let's see what happens here. There it goes. Are we going to go for all-time highs? Not all-time highs. Are we going to go for daily highs? Let's see what happens. Do we want more upside? Go 890. Right back up. Sellers are trying to get it back down a little bit. There it is. How far low? How much lower do they want to push it? Yeah, just back into that range, guys. I think I'm going to call it here. Not a lot going on. Not a lot of people in the chat as I grow the channel. But I appreciate you guys stopping in saying, what's up? Good morning. And yeah, got chopped up today. Loss on the day. Not the end of the world. Live to fight another day. I probably won't have a snow day tomorrow. So we'll see when we'll stream again. But I'll definitely, guys, I'll keep you updated on what's going on. All right. Cheers.